that time, you know, pop music and being a black artist crossing over, you know, there was a couple of us doing it at that time. I mean, there was us, there was Tinchy, there was Chip, there was Tiny. Do you know what I'm saying? And we were all just trying to figure out, you know, what do you do to survive? You know, there were so many times that I had to face certain, you know, challenging situations, altercations that I had to try and get myself out of quickly, just because they could hear my London accent. I feel like as artists, it's always important to make sure that a lot of these ideas come from you, because a lot of the time, you know, people don't really know what to do with the artists that they have. I'll be honest.
That's facts.
You have to take your destiny in your own hands. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't rely on nobody.
Winners Talking.
Winners Talking podcast. Pound Sterling Hustler. My co-host as always, Big Dougie Doug. Special guest in the building today. Real special guest, you know, levels.
Come on, levels to this.
Levels and all of that, you know. Let's not underestimate, let's not downplay the accolades of what's going on. The founder of one of the biggest groups to come out of Britain as far as the whole pop scene, internationally known.
100%.
And he's coming back home, locally respected.
Yeah.
He's going back to his roots with the music and coming back to the essence of which he comes from and what he really stands for, as far as I can see and from what I've been hearing.
Come on.
Yeah.
You know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what it is.
Oritsé Williams in the building. What are you saying to me?
Damn, man.
Round of applause, man. Nah, for real. Let's clap you up. Let's clap you up. Let's clap you up. Let's clap you up. Let's clap you up.
That was light, you know.
Yeah, no, that was it was light
You
because
break it down, what man them have done in the areas where man was doing their thing.
mental.
Big.
Mental.
No,
To
big.
take a vision like that and see it come to fruition before we go into anything else, like, just how does it feel like looking back now as a mature man, to look back on you then and see something that an idea of yours come to such a great reality? How's it feel, my brother?
Yeah, man. I guess it's crazy, man. You know, it's like when you're you and you're just young and, you know, you're full of ideas and you feel like, do you know what I mean, the whole world is your oyster and you can do anything. When you become an adult, life gets a lot more serious. Do you know what I'm saying? And then you start doubting yourself and different kind of seriousness, things of life that have happened to you start to take effect, and now you're questioning, can I do that? You know, can I do this? But at that age, when I was that young, man, I just said to myself, do you know what? I have to do this. I'm gonna do this. And there's no other option, but this has got to happen for me, man. You know, especially because for me, the fight wasn't only for me, it was for my family. So for me, there was no choice. Like, it had to happen, you know what I'm saying? And so to see, obviously, you know, the first kind of thing I put together become what it became, obviously, it was, I mean, is anyone going to be prepared for that?
Yeah.
Word.
I don't know who could be prepared for that.
Let me just interrupt you for a moment, because for those that don't know, just in case, you might not recognize, because he's got wham now from them kind of head. So in case you, because I haven't actually said that.
I can't lie. I wasn't expecting that. I'm coming kind of wham like, yo, walk on.
So for those that don't know, in case you didn't know, I'm sure everybody knows, but we're talking about JLS. You understand? You're the founder. It was your concept originally. You were the founder of JLS. You put together it was your idea to put together the group. Right?
Yeah, 100. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So we'll talk on that a little more before we move on. Let's talk on that a little bit more, because we're gonna end up coming back to it anyway. Yeah. So, did you know them before? Aston, Marvin,
JB.
Yeah. You lot are trying to remember the names.
No, man said it comes to me, bro. Don't do that.
Doug was slang
for him to say it.
Yeah.
This is how we work,
Brother, don't do that.
We're working.
I see where you're on. No, man knows the names.
I know the names, bro.
No, I'm not trying to put no one on the spot. I'm not trying to put nobody on the spot.
No, we know the name. JB's got a farm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
come on.
Yeah.
Aston did the backflip, it didn't come off, it's been viral. What happened with that? When he went to do that backflip and it didn't land, what was going through your mind?
Well, I was right next to him,
So
so
you saw it.
I saw it happen. When you're on stage, like everything kind of happens in slow-mo. So I kind of saw the thing happen, and it was kind of wild because obviously he actually wasn't supposed to do that at that particular time.
I was improvising.
He was improvising, yeah. So he just
Sometimes stick to the script, Aston. Sometimes stick to the script.
got caught
Big
up
up
in the-
Aston, though.
Nah, I shouldn't laugh.
Sometimes you get caught in a moment, innit? As a performer,
No,
do you
he
know
was
what I'm
feeling.
saying?
He was feeling.
Yeah, man, it's feeling it, you know. So
no,
sometimes them
100%.
things happen, you know. It's just how it go. But honestly, when Snoop posted it, obviously Snoop posted it up.
how-
Yeah.
I just thought, you know what? Literally, the group's gone worldwide now.
Bruh.
Do you know what I'm saying?
For laugh, man.
Bro, you gotta laugh at yourself,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, that's
you
it,
know what I'm
man.
You
saying?
lot still tour together on a regular. What's the?
Yeah, every now and again, obviously we do shows, so which is dope. You just kind of get to enjoy, the success you had over the years.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes you got to kind of just stop and take stock of what you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Of what you've
man,
done.
achieved.
So
Yeah.
man. So we just have fun with it,
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. All right, let's move on because I got the call. This was a very quick turnover for Oritsé to be here today because I got the call yesterday. We was on a freeway call and we said let's make it happen because there's some stuff going on in the media right now surrounding you, things being said, and I think some of it, from what you were telling me, it's some of it's just not true. You understand? There's a lot of falsehoods being said. So a situation surrounding yourself and your child's mum.
Yeah.
Do you want to speak on it a little piece?
Yeah, well, man, I mean, I actually haven't spoken on it at all, like all these years, because obviously for me, I got a little boy out there in the world that I haven't seen in almost a decade. He's going to be 10 years old this month, and I've not seen him since he was 9 years old. And so in the background, I've been fighting, and there's so many stories of parents, a lot of fathers fighting for their kids, fighting for access. I mean, I know some mothers now that are fighting for their kids. There's somebody that I know who's, a really strong, intelligent, responsible black woman that's a good sister of mine, right, that's fighting for her child right now. And I feel like as a community, we don't talk about family enough and the importance of family unity.
Yeah.
And even when things don't work out between adults, that I feel like it's our responsibility as parents, as adults, to do what's best for the children.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's been really difficult, I'm not gonna lie to you. Obviously I've got a beautiful wife, and we've like that saying, case of the ex. Man, I'm telling you, it's very real in my life.
Yeah.
And sometimes people just can't move on.
Yeah.
And although we haven't been together for almost 10 years, like a decade, because we broke up when my son was 1 year old. It's just like, it's horrible when you get a situation where you're faced where you have to defend yourself or feel like you have to defend yourself. And obviously for my wife, she had responded to these series of real slanderous social media posts from my ex that she's kind of done over the years. But for my wife, it was like enough was enough. Because she has been such a rock in our family, and it's been so tough for our family. Like my mother, she's diagnosed with multiple sclerosis when I was 12 years old, and she's been suffering for years. And I've seen my mother break down multiple times over the fact that she's not able to see her grandchild. My family haven't been able to see my son. And as a family, we've been devastated by it. And I've done everything I can to protect my ex from any kind of talking bad about her and in any type of way, because there's nothing that I want to say negative about her, because I think in life forgiveness is important. I feel like we must lead with forgiveness no matter what.
No, 100%.
But also for the fact that my son is out there, he's an innocent kid, and what we want to do is we want to be in his life, and we want to give him the love that he deserves and the family that he deserves. He's got a beautiful family on both sides, but he's only got access to one. And that's really tough. And I think especially the world that we live in, like young boys, they need to have those father figures or fathers that want to be in their lives, around them.
Yeah.
Because we've seen what happens so many times when fathers, aren't in the picture no more.
Most definitely.
And the boy has to then grow up trying to figure out who the hell he is. Do you know what I'm saying? And for my son, knowing that he's got a loving father, a loving family out there, do you know what I'm saying? It's heartbreaking, man. It's tough. Like, it's rough. And I don't feel like as men we talk about our feelings enough and just how tough that is. Like, sometimes you get fathers saying, do you know what, child, man? Like, met the kids
He'll come look for me.
They'll come look for me when
He'll
they're
come look
ready.
for me when he's 15.
You think I can handle that?
Yeah.
I can't. I have to do everything in my power that I can to do to get to my son.
Yeah.
Everything in my power.
I respect it.
I mean, literally,
You've gone through a lot of. You've been going through a lot of legal wranglings with it over the years. You've been consistent with the fighting.
Yeah.
And while you've had that, you were going through like financial courts as well at the same time, right?
Yeah.
How did you keep your head about you? What is it? Just the love that just keeps you pushing through, like keep going.
It's the love, man. I have people say to me, Oritsé, maybe slow down from fighting all these battles, but what am I supposed to do? Like my ex-partner, she took me to the financial courts. When the group ended, right, she bounced with my kid, right? Like,
So you mean like when JLS broke up, or you lot went your separate ways? You just kept it moving, kind of thing?
bro. When the group kept it, moved on, and everyone started doing their own things, she followed that too. She went and done her own thing, and it was like obviously a shock to me at the time, massive shock to me, because of the amount I had invested in her over the years. Do you understand? And obviously having a child is to me a very serious thing.
Yes.
So it was a massive shock. And then obviously I was left in a position whereby I'm suddenly getting letters from lawyers making financial demands on me. And in the end, I tried to reason with her, because I said, look, any money that I've earned over the years, right, I want to make sure that our son benefits from that.
Of course.
But her interest wasn't on that. Her interest was her receiving all of the money and all the earnings over the years, leaving me with nothing. And, that was a really, really tough situation.
So you're saying it's more, her interests are more come from a place, in your opinion, come from a place of spite, more malicious. Like,
I feel like
personal. Is it more about you than it is about your child?
100%. It's more about me. And, I did everything I could to make her dreams come true. She wanted to be in the spotlight. So I literally, helped manage a band that she was part of. I tried to get them signed. She wanted to, be in the spotlight in no matter what way, shape or form. So like a TV show came, a national TV, primetime TV dance show came up, opportunity came up. And I put us in it to give her the platform for her to showcase her talent. But unfortunately, sometimes if the public just don't take to you, they just don't take to you. And I realized there's nothing I can do about that. I can try and provide as many opportunities as possible. I can back her as much as I can. But if people aren't feeling you, they're just not feeling you. And it was super tough. It's super tough for her, and I understand that. But you can't, for your dreams that never came true, you can't just blame the person that you relied on so much to make them come true. Yeah.
If we was to ask her, would she say that in your opinion, were you a good partner to her? But did you play your part? Is it purely, is there some things where you look back and be like, you know what? Yeah, maybe part of this is my fault. I could have done this. Or do you feel like you've done all that you could have?
I feel like in relationships, no one's perfect.
That's
Like,
right.
let's be real. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
So that's a form of accountability there, kind of.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
No respect. That's why I'm just asking. You know why I'm asking?
None of us are perfect. And at
That's
that
right.
time, obviously, my life was like so crazy. Like touring, making records, traveling around the world. Like I was never really, at one place for a long period of time. So I was never at home for a long period of time because it was a constant, conveyor belt.
Yeah,
And
man's on the move.
do you know what I'm saying? We were moving everywhere. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was so...
JLS big man.
It was, bro, like when you're having #1 records, like
man.
life is...
Yeah, come on.
Life is, gets crazy. You understand? So for me, it was like, you know, yes, I wasn't around as much as I could have been at that time, but what do you want me to do at that time when you're on this kind of upwards trajectory of success? You know, you're on this roller coaster, and you know, you're just like you're going, man.
This is your legacy moment. You must go out. You're going out to forage for you're bringing it back to the family.
Yeah.
So you have to seize the moment.
100%.
So I understand. I was just asking you that just to give the opportunity, because people will say, "Oh, this is a one-sided account." So, but you're taking accountability. No one's a perfect person,
No
but
one's perfect.
I don't think anything justifies 9 or so years of torment and everything else that you're describing that's going on. But what made you decide to speak more publicly about it now, or to write a tweet or whatever went on at the time
Well,
before the papers?
she made a statement, you know. My wife then stood up for me and the family. Then, and my wife made, you know, kind of basically broke down all of her points that she had posted on social media and said, you say that you're a single parent and you're in this position playing all roles of a parent, but you don't let the father of your child into his life. So don't make these statements and then make this kind of create this kind of like this false image that the father don't want to be around, because that is not true. Why would I be spending all this money that I spent on lawyers, on being in, you know, in this fight, in proceedings for how many years, fighting. The amount of olive branches that, you know, I've reached out, letters of just complete and utter humility, just saying, look, I know that when things got tough, I was so focused and so tunnel vision. I was like, listen, I need to get, right now, like, the group has ended. You know, I didn't realize it was gonna end so soon. So right now, I've got to fight, and I've got to fight to make sure that I keep this roof over our head and that we continue to survive. So yeah, does that mean that the relationship takes a massive backseat in terms of priority in my mind? Of course it did, because I'm not only fighting for us, I'm also fighting for my wider family. I'm fighting to keep my mum afloat. Like, you know, this is no joke. Like,
I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's how it has to go at times. I say things like that. Like, if I'm locked in on something that needs to be done, I might turn to my sons and be like, if I don't say it, I'll be thinking it. You're gonna get a percentage less from me right now, because I need to lock in on this. But you know what your intentions are. I don't think there's anything wrong in that at all, bro. I think it's honourable to.
And I think we're at a certain level in life as well. Like, I don't know, like, especially if you lot success and when you lot is, sometimes there is a form of neglect. Like, just to take on like an example, it's like when you watch the Beckham thing, and he goes to Milan, and from LA, and he chose to make that decision based on what he felt he needed to make for his career, innit?
Yeah.
But it might not have been the best decision for the family at the time, because Victoria just moved all the way over to LA, kind of thing. Do you get what I mean? But
it might come across selfish, but
yeah, you have to make certain decisions.
How does it feel now? Can you feel that? Obviously, you feel the difference to have a loving, supporting, nurturing wife.
When I met my wife, my whole life changed, because, you know, the one thing that I had realized, is that too often we let great women, you know, walk past us, right? And especially, and I'm talking about from our community, like, we don't place enough onus and emphasis on, you know, really, like, not missing, you know, like, the incredible characteristics in a great woman. You understand? So when I met my wife, I knew there's no way I was gonna let her go or let her go past me, because I know that I'll never, ever, ever find another like her ever in my life again. So because of everything I've experienced, you know, I know that a great woman can change your life for the better in so many ways, on so many levels, that it's, man, like, you know, I always tell, like, especially like the younger boys and younger fellas these days, don't let a good woman walk past you, man. Because I'm telling you now, it will take you a lifetime to find, you know, an angel. It'll take you a lifetime. You may never find a great woman again, because you're out here flexing, being a JLS, want to, you know, move in mad ways. Yeah. And you think, oh yeah, there's always going to be one. There's always going to be one. Trust me, there won't always be one.
Yeah, that's facts. People, take a moment. You need to purchase your Manscaped. I'm not going to keep telling the people, don't miss out. 20% discount when you use the code winners plus free shipping. The body groomers, the shavers, the beard trimmers, the hair trimmers. Man went straight to oil. Mad.
Well, listen, beard oil. Man didn't even let me elaborate on the thing. Man didn't even let me elaborate.
Because I was thinking, what
oil? The oil. Beard oil.
Beard oil. Yeah, that's right.
Manscaped boxers. The Manscaped head trimmer. You got the weed whacker, but you also got the thing that you see, like me. If you're baldy like me,
20% discount.
Got the thing that I take on traveling with me.
Plus free
boom, when little regrowth, zoop, I'm back outside again. Back by the pool, chilling, relaxing, feet up. Is it?
And I'm telling you, people, it will change your life. Your love life's gonna be different. Your girl's gonna be,
respecting it.
Trust me, streamline strokes.
Streamline, no resistance.
See what I'm trying to say to you, cousin T. You've been using your Manscaped 4.0. Man said, I'm winning.
All the way through. That's what I'm talking about.
Nothing more needs to be said on that. Make the purchase, manscaped.com. Use the code winners, 20% discount plus free shipping. Use the code winners.
Come on.
At one point, you've had to downgrade lifestyle a lot. Like you've gone from the mansion. The mansion burnt down at one point. It's looking suspicious.
Yeah.
The big mansion. They say 3 million mansion burnt down. 3 million roughly the mansion was worth. Yeah.
That's what my ex's lawyers valued at.
Allegedly, and in the end you ended up selling it. You had to around the period you had to downgrade lifestyle because you lived in Croydon at one point, like 2 up, 2 down. You went from the mansion to a 2 up, 2 down.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah, man. You have to survive, innit?
Yeah.
So basically, like, when my ex took me to the financial courts, the only thing that I said to the court and the judge was that I want to make sure that the house ends up going to my son by the time he's 18, right? So when he leaves university, so he has something, do you understand, that all my hard work and effort, right, over the years, he's going to benefit from. But she didn't want to agree to that. She wanted to make sure that everything came to her, right? And so this is the fight that was going on back and forth. In the end, I said, you know what? It's not worth fighting this anymore. She can have everything. So I said to the judge, give her everything. And so I was put in a position now whereby I had to continue to pay the mortgage or any kind of arrears or any kind of finances associated with the property until she and her lawyers sold the property in order to, or have the property, do whatever they want to do with the property. But the idea was for them to sell the property so that they can get the proceeds and the money and they can do whatever they wanted to do with that, right? So for me, it was in my best interest for them to sell the house as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you're still paying the mortgage.
I'm still paying the mortgage.
Yeah,
I'm still paying the mortgage.
Yeah.
What they didn't do was listen to the judge. The judge said, secure this property. This is a mansion in Croydon. Make sure you secure the property. Now, if they don't secure the property, what happens? Squatters coming through.
Oh, okay.
Just different kind of people finding an empty yard. Do you know what I'm saying? They're pulling up to the yard. They're there chilling in the yard. All kind of madness going on in the yard. Next thing I turn on the news, the yard's on fire. Now, can you imagine how I'm feeling right now? Because I'm paying all this money for the mortgage. Now, why is someone gonna buy a yard that's burning down?
Yeah.
So I'm still paying that money.
Fucking up.
I'm still, while it's burning down, I'm still paying the money.
Yeah.
Pain. Pain.
So, because I was going to ask when you meant by secure the property, but then you cleared it up like squatters getting in there, people getting in there.
Oh, literally secure the property.
Literally secure the property.
You know how many points of entry there are in
there and just start doing what they need to do.
People were sending me videos of people doing tours in the yard. Filming themselves in the yard, breaking into the yard, going around the yard. And people are sending me videos.
Yeah.
I'm like, why didn't they secure this property?
Yeah, like build it out or just
It's
even
crazy.
just go move in.
So check this, yeah? So
do what they gotta
check
do.
this. So now when the house is burns down, now whatever kind of sale they're trying to do, right, I don't know if it's working out or not working out. But But if you give someone, let's say a Rolex, if they go and lose a Rolex, now do you still owe them a new Rolex?
No.
Not me. No.
But I'm now put in a position where they're looking at me. Okay, so now it's not going their way. They want more from me now. They want another yard. They want more money. So I didn't make some sort of euro million amount of money.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? But they're looking at me for full, like, funding their life.
Yeah. And at this point, JLS are broken up, so it's not like you're gigging and you're doing shows and all of that.
Our life is different, bro.
Yeah, the life has changed.
And because of all the wars that I was fighting, legally, all these legal battles, lawyers are expensive, man. I'm fighting all these legal battles. Literally, I'm in all these different court cases. It's like, I'm wondering, can life get any worse than this? Do you understand?
Could have broke you, bro.
Bro.
That could have broke you.
Bro,
You done well to be, as well put together as you are mentally and stuff, bro. That could have broken, man. Men are broken for less.
Yeah.
Men are broken for less. But carry on. I didn't mean to cut you. Go on.
No, but I feel like what you're saying is so...
How did you keep your head around you at that point?
Bro, like friends, family, and I know it sounds cliche, but this is when I kind of dive into my creativity and my talents, man.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I was in my yard just writing songs, man. I had a lot of people come around to my yard and they were writing with me. I'm not gonna lie, praying with me.
Come on.
Do you know what I'm saying? We prayed together, made music together.
Come on.
Do you understand?
I feel like there was a guitar.
There was a guitar.
Yeah, I felt like it felt like a guitar moment.
there was definitely-
Yeah, it was a guitar.
There was a guitar, you know, pens and pads, you understand? And you know, also I put a lot of energy into helping other young musicians, artists, writers.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't really talk about it too much because I didn't feel like it really went with the group image back then. But I done martial arts for a long time.
Okay, so I was ready.
So at my martial, no, not like that. Yo, Dad, not like that. Dog, I'm a singer, man.
JLS.
Bro, I'm a singer, man.
Yeah, man, let the man sing.
Man, I'm a singer, man. I'm a singer-songwriter, bro. I'm a singer-songwriter, bro.
Yes,
I'm in my fields. I'm in my fields the majority of the time.
I'm a martial artist as well, so I know it's just good for the mind and body, for the spirit.
Do you understand?
For the
So,
spirit.
like, I got to big up, like, you know, my what they call a Muay Thai crew. Like,
The Muay Thai man as well, yeah?
Yeah, Muay Thai, man.
Come on,
That's your thing.
That's my thing.
Yeah. So I got to big up my gym, Kettles, man, because
Which Kettles? You was going Kettles?
Kettles, yeah, that's my gym.
Come on, bro. I was going there for years before I left. I went to Semtex.
Oh, yeah, Semtex.
Come on, bro.
No way, you're a real martial arts brother.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, you're a martial arts done.
No, so
You're a real done.
cool, just cool. We do our little thing, you know. We do our little thing.
Yeah, man. So,
That's
so
good though.
Alan Kettles himself, man, like
Yeah, the
he's
OG, Alan Kettles,
Alan
yeah.
Kettles, he's the OG, man. Like he was also like a mentor to me, and you know, so he was really kind of like during that time, man. I was always in the MMA gym, like always.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but I had, you know, incredible friends around me, and unfortunately, one of my most supportive friends, you know, died, you know, not too long ago of cancer.
Yeah, so it does.
And that was really that was tough, man. This was a man that was so pure-hearted, and he used to walk for miles to come to my yard and just sit with me, talk with me, and I swear to you, and this is what hurts the most. What hurts the most is that even when he was dying and he knew he was dying, all he said was, "Oritsé, I just want to see you and your son back together again." I was taking him to his cancer therapy sessions, and on the way there, all he's talking to me was, "I just want to see you and your boy back together. Before I die, that's all I want to see." And I was doing everything I can to really make that happen. And obviously, you know, I failed.
Yeah, well, you've made massive inroads. And as I was listening to you talking, I was just thinking to myself, sometimes I say to my friends that are in a position like yours, I try to say to them, listen, I know she's giving you a fight down, but please just do everything you can so that when he comes of age, he can see. So he can see, like, I was trying, son, like I was trying, daughter, I was trying. And I think your thing is so documented, bro. Like, you're making such efforts, you're going all out, you're committed, you're giving up land and title, you're doing everything within your means. Like, that's real love. And your son will come to an age where his eyes aren't broken. He's gonna see. He's gonna hear. He's gonna understand that. You know, my dad really. This is how much my dad loved me, bro. Some people might sit right next to their sons and not even show them the amount of love that you're showing. So, no, just big up to you for that, bro, and just respect what's going on.
100%.
Let's try and lighten it now.
Yeah,
please.
for real.
Let's talk. Let's get back to some celebration of your career and everything that's going on. New music. You're back outside again. You pulled up at the Mobos.
Yeah, I pulled up at the Mobos.
Pulled up at the Mobos.
Yeah.
The big dogs. Then pulling up at the Mobos. You've come home. Welcome home, bro. Welcome home. Let's give a round of applause. Welcome home. He's back. The man's back with the man. Then. He's back with the man. Then. Man.
Yeah, come on.
Back with the man.
With the
Then.
gang.
All jokes aside, originally, when you was putting together JLS, at one point, didn't they try and some of the producers feel like your voice was like too black, too R&B for like that group? Tell me if I'm wrong. Was that
No,
the case?
that's actually true. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that's actually true. It's mad. Man, you do your research. Like, it's
To call him the Jedi. I see.
yeah, for real.
You're surprising me with some of the stuff coming out.
Yeah, them early years were tough, man. I'm not gonna lie. In a way of, you know, obviously growing up, all I was listening to was like R&B and neo soul. Like that was my thing. Like Fugees, Lauryn Hill, D'Angelo, Jodeci. You know, like Boyz II Men. Like that was my flex. You understand? And so I guess coming into the world of this kind of corporate music industry or commercial music industry, you know, was very, very different for me. I didn't really know how to really. I didn't really know how to be, like, in a lot of ways. You know, it was very strange for me. I'd never been in front of, like, television cameras and, you know, around people that so badly wanted to be stars and all this kind of stuff. Like, me and my boys, when, you know, we were doing music growing up, like, you know, my friends, literally from my ends, we were just, like, making music. Like, it was just part of our lives. You know, there wasn't really this kind of commercial, like, aspirational goal in that kind of way. It was just all natural. And I guess coming into the commercial world and seeing things done in a very kind of calculated way, it was all very brand new to me. And at that time, you had very kind of pop, you know, light singers, like, on radio. Then that was what was doing it, like Justin Bieber, you know, that kind of sound. And my voice just didn't sound like that.
Yeah, because like Aston's voice is a bit more lighter than yours, I'd say, a bit more cut through on that kind of pop kind of vibe. It might be.
Yeah. Defo. I mean, all of the boys, like all three of the boys, they had that kind of pop vocal sound.
Can all of them man they sing though?
Huh?
Can they all actually sing?
Come on, bro.
I'm serious question. Can they all like?
Sterling, man, come on, man.
Because I wasn't sure if you put it together.
Sterling.
Yeah, what you said, they're all singers like that. Because I'm not that up on JLS. Like my son was on it, and I know Beat Again
Sterling,
and them
man, come
tunes
on,
there,
man.
but I didn't know if it was Marvin. I was doubting secretly. Still, I'll be honest. I was doubting Marvin. I'll be honest. I'm gonna be honest. Let me just say how it is. I was doubting Marvin, innit? Because to me, Marvin seems like such a natural on the TV now and all of that. I weren't sure if he was really singing like that. Yeah, what you saying? Are you with me on that? Yeah. Yeah, I weren't sure if Marvin was fully singing like that because Marvin just is so good at what he does now. It's like I can't remember him singing. The rest of you, like I can see, like I know Aston, you all, and JB, but I weren't sure. But if you're signing off on all of the man, then cool.
Everyone does their thing, man. Like, do you know what I mean?
What? We say they do their thing.
No. I'm saying that, like, there's a voice for everyone, right? That's the purpose of a group, right?
Yes.
That there's a voice for everyone.
What was your thoughts when you're putting together this collective?
Well,
How old were you at the time when you're putting together the
all the
collective?
man them.
Yeah. I picked all the man them.
Yeah, so yeah.
That's a super powerful role.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that.
How old were you when you were putting together the
So I
collective?
must have been about 19 years old, or something like that, because I just came back from Nigeria, and I remember I was like in the UK. As soon as I touched down on the UK soil, after being years away in Nigeria, I knew I had a mission, and that was that I wanted to put together a vocal, you know, harmony group, a male vocal harmony group. But to be honest, I never saw myself in it. I saw myself managing it, and I saw myself being like a record label boss.
Man came up from Nigeria with a lot of ambitions.
Bro, trust me, bro.
Yeah,
trust
come
me.
back on it. Yeah,
Trust me. Being in Nigeria, it was so character building, man.
Because you're Caribbean, your parents are Caribbean, eh?
Yeah, you know. Yeah, I don't like to tell the black community too much where I'm from. definitively because
because
right, people are thinking, yo, because I got African first name, I got a tribal.
I'm not trying to mess up no bags.
Nah, I'm like, yo, you know, the African community are claiming me.
Yeah, the Jedi's digging too much.
The West Indian community are claiming me. So I'm just like, yo, I'm both. I'm Afro-Caribbean. I'm black, man.
Yeah, you're black.
Yeah, I'm black.
You're a black man. But your family's originally Caribbean, though. Let's just make it
Let's have it right.
Let's have it right.
Let's have it right. We hear all of that still.
Yeah, but carry on.
Yeah.
So, all right then. But that's what. Well, the reason I say that to say this. It's rare that you would end up in Nigeria for an extended period of time. How did that come to pass? How did you end up? Because you're West London, right?
West London, yeah.
You went to school over here and all of that.
Yeah.
What age did you go over to Nigeria?
I left the UK when I was about 15 years old, just turning 16. And obviously, you know, that's like some very informative years
100.
of any, you know what I mean, young man's life, especially coming from the UK and growing up in a Caribbean family, Sterling. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at that time as well, you know, the African community and the Caribbean community, I don't know if you remember, but it was beef, man. Like
it was divided.
It was divided. It wasn't united.
Yeah,
you understand?
Yeah.
But my family always wanted me to understand that, listen, you know, your roots are in Africa. And so all myself and my siblings, we all have proper African tribal first names. So my first name's actually Oritsé Jolomi, right? Which means, you know, either universally blessed or God has blessed you. You know, and so when people hear my name, they're like, "Rah, you got a proper tribal name." Because my name's from the Shakiri tribe, Delta State in West Africa, Nigeria. Do you understand? So it was so like growing up with that kind of name in a Caribbean household, you know, was very, very different. And we used to travel back and forth between the Caribbean and Africa and the UK growing up. So it was a very strange place to be as a young black man in the UK because I felt very much part of both the African community and the Caribbean community.
Big up your parents for that, for that. Just big them up for that, for letting you have that kind of knowledge of self.
Yeah.
Big deal. Carry on, bro.
Yeah, so they really wanted, you know, they always said, you know, that to know where you're going, you need to know where you're coming from. So for me, it's like, I really understood, and that's why I used to get really frustrated growing up when I used to see, you know, infighting between black people, because I'm like, if you know where we've come from, if you know all of the oppression, you know, that our ancestors have had to go through in order for us to be here, enjoying ourselves today, there's no way you would even look at each other wrong. Like, do you understand? You wouldn't cut your eye down to no one in your community. You understand? So I was always about that unity, and I guess that's where my music is now. Obviously, as I've transitioned into this kind of solo chapter, my music does reflect African Caribbean, you know, my African Caribbean heritage,
You can hear it, yeah.
and my experiences, which is the reason why I coined my own term for my own genre, which I call Afro Island Sounds, right? Because essentially, you know, it's me flexing my heritage and my experiences. You understand? It's me. It's like a soup of all of that experience that I've had over the years. But to go back to your question, I left the UK. I lived in the Caribbean actually when I was a small boy. I don't want to go to a dark place again, but my mum had an ectopic pregnancy. She nearly died. And my mum's been through it, man. Like, when I really think about it, she's been through it. So we came back to the UK from the Caribbean. We were going to grow up as Caribbean kids, island kids. We came back to the UK though after that because she wanted to be with her mum. And you know, of course she did, you know. And then we spent a few years in the UK, and then I went to a good school in the UK, and a school that very few, you know, ethnic minority background kids get into.
Is that? Did you go to that school? Is that where you were school with Davido, or was that?
No, that was in Nigeria.
I was gonna say, was that in Nigeria?
Yeah, it was Nigeria.
Imagine
so
that. How random is that? left West London to go school with Davido in Nigeria.
I didn't decide to go to
Yeah,
school with
man.
Davido, but
I know, but I'm saying, obviously, I'm saying how random it is for the two of you to land. Because I saw the picture, you posted a picture a while ago.
Yeah.
Of the two of you. He was a little bit then, and you got your arm around.
Yeah.
You look like you was moving like the boss out in Nigeria still. You look comfortable
Yeah,
still. The picture is moving like the boss. That's why I thought it was West London.
I'm not gonna. Well, you know what happened? I'll be honest with you. Like, I got expelled from my school in the UK.
Yeah, bad you. Did you get licks? you get licks?
I didn't get licked, but it wasn't even like that. To be honest with you, I got expelled not because I was a bad kid. Like I just felt very misunderstood as a kid. I felt very misunderstood.
Me too. When I got expelled, I felt misunderstood. I was misunderstood.
Don't jump in.
Yeah, me too, man. I misunderstood.
But you know, I got expelled, and that was hard for me, man. Like, do you know what I mean? I got expelled 2 weeks before my exams, before my GCSEs, man. And they really made me feel like I was gonna do nothing in life. They really just made me feel like, yeah, like you're done. Like, you got expelled from this school, like 2 weeks before your GCSEs, it's over for you. Do you understand? But when I went to Nigeria, it was like I had a fresh start, and I could actually, you know, almost like discover who I was as a young black man in this world. I went from being in, you know, the minority, living in the UK, to being the majority, being in a predominantly, obviously, black, do you know what I'm saying, society.
Yeah.
You know, in Nigeria, it was a very, very huge difference. Do you understand? And so for me, it was like, wow, I'm now starting to really learn about who I am as a young black man growing up. It was the best thing for me. And then when I got into that school, which was BIS, British International School, Lagos, Victoria Island, in Nigeria, I was made the head boy of the school. So imagine, so my life has always
Was
had...
that the Mandem that did that? Or
Yeah, it was the
Mandem
Mandem.
made you head boy, yeah?
Yeah, it was Mandem. And it's so funny because when the first person I met when I entered that school was a guy who you guys would know as El Marshall. He was a singer on the Wretch 32 Tractor song. And the guy that penned it. Yeah, you know the light skinned boy. Yeah. So he was he was the first person I met out there, but his name was El Marshall then, right? And so I became friends with him, but he was like, "Yo, this guy Oritsé just coming to the school. He was popular. They did this vote for who they wanted to be. Do you know what I mean? The top boy of the school, and they chose me."
You look like the top boy in that picture with Davido. Still, see what I'm saying? I said, man, look like the boss. Man, look like the boss. The look, you know when you got that look on your face, like, I run this. It was that kind of thing. I see what you're doing still. Okay, so that all leads back to you landing back now. So we're going full circle. You land back now with this hunger and desire to create this group, this collective.
Yeah.
How long was it from the group's inception to X Factor? What was the time period before you went X Factor? And how did you end up going on X Factor?
I feel like it was about a year and a half from the group's inception to the X Factor. It was about a year and a half. I feel like we had done everything that we tried everything that we could in order to become successful. It didn't really work out. You know, we'd hustled, and just nothing was connecting, you know? And so X Factor was the last resort, man. And obviously,
Forgot about that.
you know, rolling that dice.
What, X Factor?
X Factor for real.
Yeah,
Success.
That was the catalyst.
That was
Yeah,
the catalyst.
it was.
It was. I remember now.
At that time, X Factor was the biggest thing. You know what I mean,
100%.
in the
that was
country.
huge.
So
we all followed the journey, man.
yeah, exactly. So
You just forgot it a minute
No,
ago,
but
man.
what I mean is, that because of the success that Man hadn't gone on, I actually forgot that that's where it started. It wasn't X Factor.
Yeah, no, the success after was crazy.
Crazy.
But,
Do you get what I'm saying?
The journey, I feel like, because there wasn't that much black representation on the TV, to us it was a big deal. Like, we were very aware of you. Like, the black culture was very aware. Obviously, X Factor transcends just that. But I'm saying for us, it was a big, like, these men, like, everyone was watching, everyone was locked in. Were you aware of that at the time? Did you feel that?
yeah, I mean, we were locked up in the house, so we weren't really aware of the magnitude of how many people were actually watching and engaging. I mean, it was a shock when we came out, I'm not gonna lie to you. But, you know, I think what I did become aware of was that when we were, you know, going through the show, that actually it was crazy because Alexandra being there, us being there, You know,
That was the same season.
that was the same season.
Alexander Burke.
Yeah, so imagine
Crazy.
like
Yeah.
having you know like an all black final. People forget that as well. Do you know what I mean? Because
You lot didn't actually win, did you?
no,
You
we
lot
came,
second.
we came second.
Sometimes.
Who was in
But-
the final? You, Alexander.
Alexandra, yeah.
And was there final 3 or was it just the 2 of you?
There's a final 3, but the final 2 was us.
was you guys.
Yeah. And you know, obviously, it was amazing because the support from the community and the culture voting for us. Do you know what I'm saying? With the rest of the nation was big.
Yeah.
But I definitely realized that coming out of the show and when we started to make our own records, I don't think we had as much of the community on side because sometimes like and the reason why I say that as well, because obviously the music that we were making was very mainstream pop. Do you know what I mean? So hard to connect with
Yeah.
do you know what I mean, people that are loving R&B and soul and neo soul and all of that kind of stuff, you know, very, 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 very difficult for us to stay connected to the community. And at that time, you know, pop music and being a black artist crossing over, you know, there's a couple of us doing that at that time. I mean, there was us, there was Tinchy, there was Chip, there was Tiny. Do you know what I'm saying? And we were all just trying to figure out, you know, what do you do to survive?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean in this game?
It was a different time.
And although that music that we made was new for me, because it wasn't, you know, the first thing that I would naturally go to if I was going to switch on a playlist. But what it did was show me how to become more versatile in order to succeed in the commercial scene. And I guess for me, it was like, I don't know, it was tough because I know the music that I personally love, you know, but I also had to find a love for doing something a little bit different than
Who was right?
actually.
Or were you guys getting given songs? Did you guys get to write any of the songs yourselves, or were you?
Man,
This is the
they
tune?
threw the best writers and producers from all around the world at us, man.
Yeah.
We were writing, but we were learning to write pop music.
Because the best writers would be writing.
Yeah, they threw everything. They threw all the best people at us.
There are a
man.
couple joints the man them could kind of rock with. What was that? That everybody in love put your hands up.
Yeah, that one.
That
Yeah.
one could work
Oh, man,
still.
that one.
You know, as a big man, you get me.
That one's universal.
That one, there's a big tune, you know.
Yeah, man.
And I asked my son because he went to. I got exposed him. He went to the show once. You know,
But why you say you're going to expose him?
Because-
you know what I'm saying?
when I
It's like
said
it's a
it-
guilty
when I
pleasure.
said
It's like you don't want to admit. It's like Sterling. It's like you don't really. It's like I'm gonna expose him. You see what I'm
Because now
saying?
you-
That's what I mean about the
now you-
community, though, Sterling.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
That's
I hear
what
you.
I'm saying to
I
you.
held us back there by 2 years by saying that. But don't judge
man
me.
lost point.
Yeah. I should have said that. As a listen, there's no shame in it. But because you know when they're older now, they think they're too cool for school now, innit? He's older now, innit? So I was like, he says it was 02. I thought it was Wembley, but he says he went 02.
02,
He
yeah.
went with my brother's girlfriend at the time. She took him, and it was him. I said to him, what tunes in it, and he just jumped on the laptop. He drew for Beat Again. That must have been his joint, innit? He drew for Beat Again. Nowadays, Beat Again would have different connotations to where.
Yo,
No, let me
bad
live.
boy, you know.
Let me live. What?
Nah,
I'm just saying.
nah,
Doug like that one, innit? That's my guy. See,
Yo, Doug, don't laugh at him, yo.
that's my guy.
Listen.
You knew where you were coming today.
Don't
You knew
encourage
where
him.
you were coming
No,
today.
don't encourage him. I saw you. Don't encourage him.
You like that one? My guy. That's what we're talking about.
Nah.
Now you-
Listen, I saw his eyes go to the side.
It's a fool in that. You don't notice. I don't even look at your wife.
I'm gonna sing that differently now, you know. You got me still. That one's sick.
But anyway, no. JLS, listen, at the time, I know there's this thing of like division between pop, but who knew how it would become? Because look now, pop music is street music and vice
100%.
versa.
Yeah.
You understand?
And
And
what
I
would
think
you
you
do?
lot was part of the wave of that era where it's changing. I was
It's not even
thinking
like
that
what
when
you do,
said
like
black finalists.
you know, it's in the mainstream.
100%.
And I think a lot of artists that were underground were trying to go mainstream. That was the dream, like to get a deal, go mainstream, be top of the pops, do whatever. Because obviously now the game's changed, isn't it?
Yeah.
But at that time, that's what it was. So it's not even like what do you do. That is what you have to do because you got to be charting, you got to keep the records coming in, you got to keep the deal happy, you got to keep everything doing what it is. So we understand it.
Everyone wants to get to the top.
Yeah.
And then,
successful
it's just this thing in the community at times. Once you start achieving and attaining a level of success, the people don't necessarily get behind you the way they would. Sometimes I think it's because they're unhappy within themselves because they're going through their own personal struggles. So it's like, there's a level of bitterness, but I think you should look at it as something to aspire to.
Oh, 100%.
Support it. I say it in here all the time. You should support people when they manage to make that step because it opens doors for others to do it. So don't get confused. I'm sure everyone is very proud of what's gone on.
100%.
And everything. But yeah, I do know at the time.
Like the underground and the mainstream was, even though it was so close, was so far apart.
Yeah,
because the mainstream, everyone knew when you're making mainstream music, like you said, you're making music that's not necessarily what you want to make. It's not necessarily your thing, but you have to make it. So everyone understands that mainstream music is being made to kind of fit a certain genre and fit a certain need. But really, deep down, it's not really what everyone wants to be doing. But in order to, at that time, to kind of get chart and do whatever, you got to find number ones. There's pressure.
100.
You're in a deal. Do you get what I'm saying?
100.
So
you man,
get
was
it.
you lot Blazing Squad times as well? They come after.
They come
after.
Yeah, Blazing Squad was way before us.
Yeah.
They were
they
before?
before?
Yeah, way before us, man.
Blazing Squad.
Shout out Marcel and them man.
Yeah.
Way before us.
Yeah.
But you know, like,
So what,
you were
like,
saying, Doug, sorry, go on.
No, go on. I was going to think, what's the big show? Was it?
X Factor, what do you mean?
Nah.
I said the big show, that's a wrestler, bro.
No. This is Big Bro.
Big Bro.
So
that
you
was way before us.
Before you as well?
Come on, man.
Well,
You
Big
lot-
Bro.
You lot,
Yeah.
No, Big Bro's way before.
That's like So Solid days though, isn't it? Big Bro's like them days, isn't it?
Yeah, early days.
So like you said,
I
your
was a
time
youth.
was like Tichi Strider,
Yeah,
them kind of
that was
times.
their
Kano,
era.
when
Yeah,
Kano,
that was
when
their
them
era.
lot was all going mainstream. Yeah.
No, it was them like Tinchy, Tiny. It was all that kind of period.
was
Yeah.
Dappy and all of that.
Dappy,
Yeah, that was their era then.
I mean, them man started before us. I'm not gonna lie, but definitely started before us. But you know, it at that time, everyone was kind of at the height.
doing
but that's
their
what
thing.
I'm saying. And you know, like when you said to me, you know, that how did you feel that the producers were saying, yo, that one in the group, his voice just sounds too black. Yeah, it was tough because you know that this pop music is what is success at that equals success at that time. And when they're saying to you, and they're saying directly to me, like completely unfiltered, some of these producers, your voice sounds too soulful, it's too R&B. I don't know how your voice contributes to the pop sound of this group. Like, and I didn't really know what to do with that, man. Like that was like, what do I do? How do I change my voice?
Yeah.
Do you understand? I started to try. I'll be honest. I started to try and change my voice.
Yeah.
So that to try and figure out how do I fit on these group records. Like how am I gonna do this? Do you know what I'm saying? But I feel like there was so much learning during that time for me. There was so much learning, and I did feel. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I did feel a little bit of like they call it survivor's guilt.
Yeah.
Like survivor's guilt. Like a lot of the people that I'd grown up with, that we were doing music together. We used to do like local like bars and clubs and venues and stuff like that. And actually, one of my boys from back in the day that actually succeeded is a guy called Michael Kiwanuka. And he became like his own kind of artist, like soulful, kind of black, kind of country, soulful singer. And I saw him at a Stevie Wonder show at Clapham, and I said to him, bro, like, I feel like everyone from back in the day is like saying Oritsé sold out. And he goes, bro, what are you talking about, man? You smashed it. You had to do what you had to do for your family. Everybody would want to do what you've done. 100%. Everybody would want to be in your position. So don't even sweat that, man. Nah. And so that made me feel a little better, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, because I did feel like, like, I've just completely abandoned all the music that we were making back in the day. Do you know what I mean? All my friends were like instrumentalists. They used to, guitar, bass players, like purists, drummers.
Purists.
But everyone had to do it though.
Everyone had to do it at that time.
You got a once in a lifetime opportunity.
That's what I'm saying.
To change everything.
That's what I'm saying. And I'll never regret it.
No, of course not.
Never regret it. Like,
everyone that bus had to go mainstream.
Had to.
You get what I mean? Had to. They had to figure a hit. They had to get a hook. They had to get something jumping.
You already know.
They had to chart.
And
that was the goal. That was it.
And it's such a, like the group itself, like even the music, the deals, because you had some like groundbreaking deals, branding deals that other people didn't have. You lot were kind of pioneers for all of that.
Yeah.
How did you manage to get these kind of deals and not got, because nowadays we have so many artists come through here and they've signed bad deals. They've not made the money they should have made. I'm making the assumption that you did all right.
Yeah.
You lot still seem like it was a good deal. talk about the branding deals, how that came together and all of that. Because at the time, I hadn't really heard of this, like, not commonplace for you to be getting that kind of deals.
Well-
Who looked after you? How did you manage to accomplish all of these things?
Well, first of all, we always had our own ideas that we would present to our management.
Okay.
And our management would go out there and make it happen at the time, you know? And I feel like as artists, it's always important to make sure that a lot of these ideas come from you. Because a lot of the time, you know, people don't really know what to do with the artists that they have. I'll be honest.
That's facts.
You have to take your destiny in your own hands. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't rely on nobody. And even now, I realize that even more. Being an independent solo artist now, do you know what I mean? Really navigating my way through this kind of crazy world of music and life. You know, I really have more than ever realized that if you don't get up in the morning and fight for you and your family, nobody's doing it for you.
Right.
Yeah, straight.
And I want to talk a lot about what you're doing now, the solo work, the new joints you got out, the joint with AO Beats, all the joints.
Yeah.
But first, let's type this JLS thing.
Yeah.
How did you feel when it was break up? Like the group is over, innit? Like, how did that feel?
Bro.
Even as you put it together as well. That's your baby.
I cried on TV, innit?
Yeah.
I cried like a baby on TV. No, I was mash up, man. I can't lie. You know, I never wanted the group to end. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
You know, I remember Leanne from Little Mix, you know, messaging me saying, "Yo, it's so clear that you don't want this group to end. You can't even hide it well." And you know, obviously, I've never ever spoke openly about this ever. You know, but I'm kind of at that place in my life now where I gotta be real. And yeah, it was tough. You know, we made a promise to each other that we would do 10 albums, 10 tours, you know, go until the wheels fell off. And, you know, and it was early for me, man.
Why did you not end? Why did it come to an end?
You know, people, you know, people want to do different things sometimes, you know, and things happen like that. But yeah, obviously for me, I love being in the group. I wasn't even thinking about doing no solo, nothing. I was thinking I was going to be in the group for many more years, you know. It was a passion. I put it together as my baby. And obviously, once you have your baby, you want to see it grow to be as beautiful and just keep seeing it grow, to continue to be more beautiful than ever, man. And obviously, being successful is a great feeling. And when you see something that is working so well, you just say to yourself, well, why do you want it to stop?
Yeah. You feel like it was out of your hands, kind of thing.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, life is life, man.
Yeah.
Things happen, man.
Yeah. There's four of you. You got to all be on the same page.
Yeah, you got to work.
Yeah. But it was tough. It was very, very tough. And obviously, I was I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm an emotional guy. Like, I don't hide that. You know. And yeah, it was rough, man. It was super rough for me. I didn't really know how to deal with that for a while. For a while.
That process and the whole thing.
How long was the run? How long was the JLS run? It's still going now. You're still touring.
yeah,
So,
so
the band's still around.
Yeah. So we tour. We tour. We don't make music together.
Yeah, but you still.
But we tour together whenever you know everyone wants to do it. So yeah, so we enjoy ourselves whenever we can. But the run was from 2008 when we touched the TV screens to 2014. Yeah.
So 6 years. Yeah.
It's impactful for 6 years, you know.
Yeah.
Done a lot.
You look, that's a big impact for 6 years.
Yeah.
How many number ones?
5 number ones in total. Yeah.
Number one. That's big.
Yeah.
And 16 years on, still going as well. Still touring a bit.
How many albums did you drop in that time?
We dropped 4 albums. We dropped an album a year, and then we had a greatest hits and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
It was a good run, man.
Yeah. 5 number ones is big though.
But bro, listen.
A lot of man can't get one.
Doug, yo. Shots fired, boy.
But I ain't fired. I don't even know who I'm firing. I'm not even trying. I'm just saying that to get a number one hit, especially in that time, because you think you're dealing with a lot of big artists, a lot of people in the game, and because the game is so chart based, it's a lot of competition.
100%.
So to get the 5 number ones, like you say, you got N-Dubs, you got Titchy. That's just even in the urban scene, like, in a sense. But then you got big mainstream artists, big singers, like you say, Alexandra Burke's still singing.
Yeah.
Then you got other people that probably did other fucking like the show as well. Do you get what I'm saying? That I've done the show and they're trying to push those artists as well. So to get 5 number ones in that time is a big look, like, and something to be proud of. Do you get what I'm saying? 100%.
Definitely.
One of the biggest groups that come out of England ever, bro.
100%.
100%. You man, like the JLS run was a big deal.
Big deal.
Yeah. All right. So out of JLS now, you've gone solo. How long did you take to yourself? Now, when it's all done, because we like to get a bit more introspective. So when it's all done and it's not gone in, you're not doing the music no more. Your missus has left you. Sounding depressing already, but your missus has left you. Like, what were you doing mentally? Like, where were you at? Where were you at when this is happening? Because you didn't want the band to break up. You probably didn't want your girl to leave you at the time. So like a lot's going on. Where were you at mentally with all of this?
Yeah, I was struggling. I was struggling mentally, man.
This is when the guitar sessions and the prayers.
When the guitar sessions and the prayers were happening, man.
That's why you need good people around you, you know.
Great people around you, man.
All right. And how long did it take you to make the decision of, all right, I'm ready to come outside. Let me go and get my solo deal with Universal and all of that stuff. How long did it take for that?
So the conversation around the deals actually started happening because I actually started getting in the studio and just kind of making music that I love when I knew the band was ending and we were kind of on the last tour. And then there was a really dope manager that had heard some of the tunes that I'd done, and he was like, yo, you've actually got something. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, he goes, no, I feel like you actually got something, like with your own music. And actually, I'd love for us to work together and, you know what I mean, and kind of just give it a go. So I said, all right, you know, cool, man. I've got like no expectations. I just decided to make music because that's all I know how to do, really. Like, that's all I want to do right now. I still want to make music. And so he started having some conversations. And some of those conversations actually landed with a label called Good Music. That
Kanye.
Yeah, that was Kanye's label. And
I tried to just say it calmly, you know, that's big still.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's big still, yeah.
And so they were looking for a singer on a hip hop label that was a label full of rappers. And when they heard this record that I had did, Kanye and Kanye's team, the Good Music team, were like, yo, who's that Oritsé guy? And he's like, oh, he's coming out of this band from the UK. Yeah, we'd love to have a conversation. But at the same time, my manager at the time was also played the record to Darkest Beast at Island Records. Obviously, at that time, he was the only black president of a major label, at Universal. And so there were these kind of conversations that were lingering, but I know it all sounded really exciting, but I didn't feel ready yet, to be honest. I felt like it was happening too fast, like the group was ending, you know. Now this manager's kind of talking to me about getting me a solo deal. I'm still trying to emotionally process everything that's going on. I'm making music for me, really. I'm not really making music to try and be a solo artist. I'm just making music for me, but they're kind of forcing me into this kind of solo space. Maybe he sees an opportunity and wants to capitalize on it, I guess. And it was just moving super, super, super fast. But then what happened was, with the conversations at Good Music, I kind of said to the manager, but Kanye looks like he's going into like this fashion space. So I feel like he's not really going to be committed to the label. So although it's exciting and it's like an American label and it's a hip hop label, but for me, I feel like I need to just kind of take my time. But because the relationships were building there, Pusha T was on the label. And so the collaboration on my first record, Waterline, with Pusha T happened because of the conversations that were happening at Good Music. So it was like this kind of natural kind of relationship that had been built, a moment that had happened.
Yeah.
And then I said, you know what, if I was going to sign to anyone, I feel like Darkus is the best person to sign with, because he's actually, you know, his job is to run a label and make a label successful.
Yeah.
But then when I went over to Universal and I met with Darkus, everything was great, don't get me wrong. He heard a record, he was like, he was marching around the office at Universal going, Oritsé, you know, I wouldn't really listen to the music you made with the group, but this shit's fire.
Yeah.
He was like, this
I hope you G-checked him like you did me when he said that.
Yeah.
you try to put me on blast and start the people then back. Oh, you gave you the same. Say, why'd you say that for?
Yeah.
Why'd you say that? No, carry on.
But he was like, yo, this, true say, starting, no, true say.
But you say he's writing the check and that. I just kind of dance with it.
So Darkus was like, you ain't leaving here until you sign to me, type thing. And so I'm looking at my manager at the time, going, yo, like this is all happening a bit too fast, because he was going crazy, and my manager was like, yo, Darkus is into it. Let's do the deal with him.
Yeah.
But then he brought in the person that he was working with, one of the twins. I think it was Twin A. And I was looking at Twin, and he was like, he's gonna be your A&R. But I'm looking at him and I'm thinking to myself, yo, I feel like he ain't really feeling the fact. He's not he ain't really messing with the fact that he's gonna have to look after the guy that's come from the band. It's not. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like his thing was more kind of MCs, rappers, and
his energy weren't for it, kind of.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I could feel that the commitment weren't gonna be there, and and whatever else. And obviously it was, it was a short little run. In the end, it was like an experience for me. Do you know what I mean? But I felt like I hadn't found myself as an artist in my own right yet, and I needed more time, man. I just needed more time.
Did you find it difficult for people to take you serious as a solo individual artist, making a different style of music, coming from JLS?
Well, obviously, it's definitely messes with people's heads when they see, okay, this guy was in the group that was making this kind of certain style of music, and now by himself, he's going mad, flexing in crazy ways. Do you know what I mean? But actually, he can flex.
Yeah.
But I just can't get away from the fact that it's the boy from the group. Do you understand? And I don't know how. And how can he flex like that? A lot of people are going,
they can't work it out.
How can Oritsé flex? How's Oritsé flexing like this? Because it feels authentic. It sounds authentic.
But you're a legit Carib / Niger boy, bro. Like you've actually spent time in the real, like you get what I mean. So it's actually in you. It's not on you. It's in you. You get what I mean?
Right.
So I get it.
That's
carry
right.
on, bro. Carry on.
And obviously in my heart, like I know that for me this comes so naturally, but I just know that it's definitely like a mind shift for a lot of people, because they don't realize anything about my background, where I come from, where I've grown up. Like Nigeria, wasn't easy, man. And even when me and Davido, when we linked up again, we had this conversation. I said, you know what? Since I came to the UK, I feel like nobody understands me. I'll be honest with you. It's like the experiences that I've had, I just don't feel like I can really explain it to anybody. He goes, Oritsé, you'll never be able to make anyone understand. Never. Nigeria, growing up in Nigeria, is a whole different experience, And so it's tough for me, because I do always feel like I'm misunderstood. A lot of the time people go, yo, that one sometimes, we used to go out to the clubs and whatever else, and people go, yo, that Oritsé guy, he's very quiet. Like, he don't really talk too much. He don't really say too much. He's always thinking, he's always in his own head. Because I didn't feel like I really I never felt like I was in my most natural kind of environment. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it was always like, I was always having to make myself find a level of comfortability in environments that I didn't feel too comfortable in. Like Nigeria was crazy, man. Like I had some of the most amazing time of my life, but I also had met some of the most craziest challenges. even when I spoke about El Marshall, you know, who did the Tractor record with Rich, you know, I remember it was our prom night, and you won't even believe, like, the Nigerian police stopped our vehicle on our prom night on the way to school, right, and held us at gunpoint and robbed us before we got to the prom.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And I'm there in the car, and I remember being in the car, and they're pointing guns at us, and obviously at that time, you know, it's all AKs. You understand? So it's all automatic weapons. And I'm going to L, man. His name was TJ, but I'm saying to L, bro, man, this ain't right, man. This ain't right, man. He goes, Oritsé, we all need to just gather up whatever money we got. So we're all putting Naira, we're throwing Naira in the middle. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? And giving the police, you know, the money, and they say, okay, you guys on your way. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That was like one situation of many out there. Do you understand? And because like they could hear my British accent as well, and they see that I had light eyes. Do you understand? So they're looking at me like, yo, this guy's got a different accent. Yeah. He's got light brown eyes. He ain't directly Nigerian. Yeah. So immediately, now I'm finding myself trying to reconnect with my African roots, but it's almost like I'm not African enough. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, you know, do you understand? Yeah. So I'm finding myself in a very, very difficult situation whereby sometimes when I'm out there, I stick out, like, do you know what I'm saying? In that way. So they're pointing me out. You know, there were so many times that I had to face certain, you know, challenging situations, altercations that I had to try and get myself out of quickly, just because they could hear my London accent. And they knew that I wasn't directly from Lagos or from Nigeria. Like, do you understand? So man, there's been a lot. So the kind of like me kind of feeling comfortable back in the UK, and especially in a pop commercial world, man, I never really felt fully comfortable up until today. It's only now that obviously when I meet people like AO Beats and, you know, other people that I've met along the way, like I'm good friends with Stylo G and some other, you know.
Let's talk about that. You got the big tune right now, Language.
Language came out earlier this year, man, and it went crazy.
I'm late to it, but it's a joint.
Thank you.
Like, that's going in right now.
Yeah,
I see you doing a lot. And I see you like, I see you like in the club and all that. It might have been a party.
Yeah.
I think was it a
press
party
launch,
you had?
press launch that I had a party in Mayfair.
I see you with Bushkin in there, Stylo G and them man in there.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Local settings, and it looked right. It felt right. How did that feel like for that in that moment there? Because it's a press launch, it's another step.
Man, I felt like I finally was home.
Yeah.
I felt like I finally was home, man. You know, obviously, my years in the UK, I grew up in West London. I'm from Shepherd Bush originally. You know, so obviously a very big, you know what I mean, West Indian garage community, you know what I mean? And just being from London City, you understand? You know, we know what that felt like. Do you know what I mean? The Eskimo sounds, you know, the garage sounds, you know, growing up. Bro, I used to go to like these clubs like Tudor Rose and Exposure, do you know what I mean? And I used to see Heartless Crew pull up and So Solid pull up, man. And I was a youth them times. Do you know what I mean? I can't even believe that these, you know, I can now call these guys my big brothers.
Yeah.
Like Bushkin, he's one of like my biggest supporters in this game. And I'm like, I can't believe this is Bushkin.
Yeah, come on.
Like, I remember being in school and like the clash between, you know, him and Pay As You Go and Bush, you know, Heartless and Pay As You Go crew were circulating on the tapes.
Yeah, man, had them Chris Biscuit tapes. Come on, V.
Do you understand?
Yeah, come on, man.
And I had that on rotation them times. And now Bushkin is like, you know, bigging me up, pulling up at my party, going, yo, Oritsé, you lot need to recognize that Oritsé Williams is the future, is the truth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you lot need to lock into his sound, and he's always playing my records on radio, like, just proud of me, like a younger brother. Like, do you know how that feels? Like, you know, Stylo's pulling up, going, big up Oritsé, man. I used to see you on MTV, see you on TV, and the fact that I'm doing music with you, do you know how this makes me feel? Do you know the validation that I get? You know, and obviously when I linked up with David, though, do you know what I mean? When he came back to the UK and we proper chopped it up and got in the studio and made some records together, and you know, we ain't, you know, those records ain't come out yet, but you know, just to reconnect with my Nigerian family like that. Do you know what I mean? And just talk about the times in Nigeria that we had.
Yeah.
You know, the last few years for me have just been, you know, I've been on a journey where I've been able to reconnect with my roots and just feel good about who I am. You know, not hide that, because I'm not gonna lie to you, you know, many years in the pop world, you know, you do kind of fall into this kind of media trained kind of, do you know what I mean? You know, you can start to lose yourself and the essence of who you truly are. Your identity, do you understand? And for me, it's like, it's great, you know, the success is amazing. Like, don't get me wrong, like having the success and killing it, you know, it feels good. Like, for anybody, it's gonna feel good. Do you know what I'm saying? Success is gonna feel good to anybody. But there does come a time as well where, you know, being yourself.
You have to feed your soul, man. There
You
comes
have
a
to
point where you
feed
have to
your
feed your soul.
100.
Like, you've done the work stage of it.
Yeah,
And most
yeah, yeah.
people have to. It's like anything in life. Like, people might work a job to get things done at a certain point, but then once that's out the way, you start doing things for you that feel good for you. And I feel like that's what you're doing right now, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
You're not answering to anyone in particular. You're doing what feels right for yourself.
100.
The new joint,
Yeah.
Sober.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
That's crazy, man. So, yeah, man. AO Beats, I've been a big fan of his for years, man.
Shout out AO.
Yeah, big shout out to AO, man. That's my brother, man. Honestly, like, AO, man, we've, like, musically and just as brethrens, man. Like, do you know what I mean? He's just, bro, like, when I say he's the truth, man, and he does not get the credit that he deserves. Only in the UK you can have someone as talented as that not get the love that they deserve. In America, producers and artist producers, man, they shout about them. Do you know what I mean? Whether DJ Mustard, Dr. Dre, do you know what I'm saying? You know, whoever you're looking at, you know, they big them up, man. But in the UK, we don't big up our producers or producer artists in the same way. Like, AO is one of the most talented guys. And I've seen a lot of people in this industry, man, come on, over the years, man. AO don't get the credit he deserves, man. But honestly, for me, it's like family now. Like, I got AO for life. Like, you understand? Like, he's like family. So, like, we linked up, obviously, over social media. He was hearing, because what I did was, I said, you know what? For people to really get to know Oritsé, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take some covers, I'm gonna flip them, and I'm gonna flex how I'm gonna flex. And I'm just gonna go crazy. I'm just gonna go crazy with these covers. Do you know what I'm saying? So people are looking at me like, yo, Oritsé's going crazy. Like, you know, I'm bringing in patois and pidgin and my West London swagger, and just, you know what I mean? I'm mixing it all up, you know. And people are going, yo, this guy's going crazy. Like, he is going crazy. And so AO was seeing a lot of the stuff that I was doing online, whatever else. And, you know, we ended up connecting, and we got on the phone, and AO was like, yo, like, pull up to the studio, man, because you definitely got something. Pull up to the studio. So I said, where's your studio? He goes, Derby. I said, what? He said, look, I could come to London and we could do a day, or you could come to Derby and we can do a whole camp and just make music for you. I said, yeah? I said, all right, cool, I'm coming. So myself and my wife, you know, we went up to Derby, man. You know, we stayed, you know, a whole week. And me and
loyal, supportive wife.
Oh, man.
Let's say it again.
Listen.
Let it be known.
My wife, Kaz, she's the greatest.
Come on.
Honestly. And like I say, you know, I wouldn't be here, you know, the way I am. Do you know what I mean? Just feeling so good about life if it wasn't for marrying that incredible woman.
Yeah.
You understand? So for me, it's like, yeah, man, We do everything together. We go everywhere together. You understand? And it was beautiful. Like going up to Derby, and she came a few days into the studio, and we're seeing what we were doing, and me and Ayo, man, we just caught a vibe immediately, man. And Sober came out of that week. Every day, man, every day we wrote a crazy record.
Yeah.
It was like we had too much to choose from.
Yeah.
But Sober just felt right. And it was such a natural vibe. And I was like, do you know what, man? Let's take it all the way, man. Let's take it all the way. And we were I think we were just playing it on Instagram, and Bella Schmurder and his team,
Yes.
they heard, they saw what we were doing on Instagram, and then the link up happened, and they were like, yo, we want to pull up on a record. So we sent the tune over, then we all got on FaceTime, Bella went crazy on the record, and I was like, come on.
Yeah, come on, it's a wrap. Let's go.
It's a wrap, man. Let's go. Let's not even waste no more time. I don't wait until next year. Let's go.
Yeah, bro.
You understand? So yeah, no, I'm excited, man. So, Sober is a new record. It already went crazy on TikTok. We leaked the sound, over 2.1 million hits in under 24 hours.
Yeah, so people are using it.
People are using it all over the world. If you click the sound, you'll still see people using it all over the world. Literally, people were messaging me from everywhere going, yo, Oritsé, this does not happen. What is going on with this record? It's going crazy. It's going crazy right now. I said, what? I wasn't even watching what we was doing. I was just having fun. Like, do you understand?
Yeah. Man, not trying to make something that was popular. Man was just doing what man
Exactly, man. Like, I'm in that place, man. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just have fun with the music. And that's what I love about Ayo. Because Ayo, he don't overthink things in the studio.
Yeah.
He just wants to flex, vibe, and do what comes natural. And with what I love about Ayo as well is that he sees Oritsé for Oritsé, like, musically. So he's not prejudging me from anything I've done before. He's like, nah, who you are and what you do is perfect, man. The world needs to hear this. And he just provides that environment for me to just be myself.
Yeah. I love to hear it. As we start to bring things to a close, do you think you'll ever write a book or anything like that? Because you lived a mad life, bro.
Yeah, bro. People are saying, Oritsé, you need to do a movie. They're saying, forget the book, do a movie.
Something has to go on. Well, the script then, something has to go on.
Yeah. I need, I don't know, man. Who can do that? Jordan Peele. Pull up in the movie. On the,
So good. It's a story though. It's a literal
the journey.
creating the group. Even before that, to Nigeria, to this. No, it's definitely.
Definitely been a journey.
There.
You get me?
It's been a journey, man. It's been a journey. I'm not gonna lie to you, and all I want to do in the end, man. All I want to do is live a life where people can say, do you know what? Oritsé Williams is someone who cared.
Yeah.
Someone who celebrated others, and someone who wasn't afraid to be himself.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I'm saying?
100%, bro. And without going into it, I didn't go into it too much today because I know you've covered it before, but we must give I know it's what we should do, but not everyone does the things that they should do. Aside from your son, you spent so much time, you've been so diligently looking after your mum. I know your mum's not well, and you've looked after you and your siblings, not just yourself, obviously. You've been very hands-on in looking after your mum. And yeah, just big you up for that. Obviously, it's what we should do. So you might say it doesn't need praising for, but it does though, bro, because not everyone will do these things, especially when you've got so many other things going on. You're fighting on so many different fields. You could get distracted, So I feel like family is very important. As I can tell, family is very important to you and the love. And man, I hope you continue to get to spend good time with your mum, looking after, and that, hopefully your son gets to be part of all of this as well, But what else should we look out for upcoming from
Man, more music, man.
More music.
Yeah, man.
We're just pressuring them.
Bro, trust me. Yo, we're locked and loaded, man.
Yeah,
man. Trust me, we're locked and loaded.
Ready
man.
For that task.
Yeah, man. Trust me. So, yeah, man. Honestly, I just wanna perform. I wanna take the music to a space where people can come. Do you know what I'm saying? And enjoy. Everyone says, Oritsé, with your music, it's kind of like, it feels like carnival. It feels like carnival time. And so it's just about people being able to come to a space and celebrate music and feel good again.
Yeah. People go and listen. Everyone, make sure you go and check it out. Check out the tune with Pusha T.
Yeah, Waterline.
That's a big tune. Listen, Push, That's a big cosign right there, and all of that.
100%.
And check out all the music as well. It's a new day. It's a new day, and it's a new sound. And I think everyone should get behind, and support what's going on from the great Oritsé Williams. Do we say formerly of JLS?
I mean,
Or is it JLS for life? I'm just asking, what we doing there, car? What we saying? Cause you know that's what some of the men are saying. No, man, it's JLS. What we saying?
nah, it's always for life, man.
See
Yeah,
it
come
there?
on, yeah, man.
Come on,
Yeah.
don't try to backtrack after you told me off for saying. Why you telling your son? Why you telling your son that? Yeah, stick with that. You better get a tattoo. You better get a tattoo on that as well. But love, I appreciate you coming through, my bro. It'd be great to have you. Anything else you want to say to the people before we bring things to a close?
No, I just want to say, listen, for me, it's all about, as a community, we should just always stick together as much as we can.
Yeah.
And I just feel, as well, as black men, we should be able to talk about our emotions.
100%.
Oh, yeah, come on.
100%.
We're big on that.
Because, and that's what I love about
Yeah.
your podcast.
Yeah.
Because you guys aren't afraid to
No.
speak openly, and it gives platforms to, people like us to be able to have these conversations
Yeah.
that a lot of the time in our households, we're not accustomed to having.
We're not, bro.
But as family, and as black people, let's speak, man, and as young black men, because it's the frustration that ends up spilling over into people making decisions that changes their lives
Yeah.
for the worst,
Yes.
just because they never communicated.
And a lot of the times our stories are the same or
And a lot of
very
times our
similar.
stories are the same, man.
We're going through the same or similar
Exactly.
things.
And we can learn
just
from
don't
each other,
speak
man.
them, and we can learn from
We
each
can
other.
learn from each other.
100%, and that's what we're all about, man. But no, just a big up every time. Appreciate you coming through. We're locked in. We're listening to the new music.
Yeah, man.
We're listening to the old music. Doug's gonna listen to Beat again with a different kind. Doug's
Yeah, but don't listen into the way that you describe
Nah, he's
Sterling.
listening to it that way now.
Listen, I'm going to sing it the way I sing it. Yeah,
But
I'm
no,
a singing
big
the
up
way-
every time.
yeah come on,
Big
man.
up,
Love,
man.
yes.
Yeah.
Oritsé Williams in the building. It's the Hustler and Big Dougie Doug. We're done. Step.